Right, and I'm listening to Nathan. He speaks so much of passion, about young living. So, out of curiosity, right, how did you feel when Jessica first started with a network marketing? When you find out, were you having this kind of passion, or this grows over time as you
I
find
was
out?
I was very excited about something that would be for the health of our family. I knew that a system wherein we could be healthy.
Yeah.
You kind of time were like, what are you doing?
Yeah, no, but
Come on.
let me explain myself.
Okay.
So I was excited about health products.
Mm-hmm.
I was not excited about the industry. That's what I was talking about. Everyone has a different experience. Some people have amazing experiences. Some people have a marginal average experience. Some people, get in and for whatever reason they ditch, they bail out. And I think so many people, unfortunately, leave early without experiencing enough of the products so that they realize that it has a personal benefit for them. The second Young Living hit home for me from a health standpoint was huge. And then obviously when the dollars started to come, then there was another layer of motivation.
But how did you feel when I first came to you? Answer her question.
I told you, I felt two things. I was excited about health products,
Okay.
system for health. I was not excited about Young Living, to be totally honest. And it wasn't Young Living so much as it was, I had a bad experience in another direct sales company. And I was like, I don't want to have anything to do with it. And, but fortunately, I took what was happening in our family and the experience that she was having. And I said, I have to really come to my own conclusion about this. And I have to make it personal. And everyone has to do that same thing. You have to make it personal, and you have to really, does this make sense for me? Does this make sense for me personally? Does this make sense for our family? And in time, I had a few experiences with a few oils, because we started in October of 2013. Jessica started. So
his exact words were, don't do this. We're going to lose friends and we're going to lose money.
Because that was my experience.
Yeah.
Years prior, maybe, what was it? Probably 7 or 8 years prior, I had that experience. But thankfully, Young Living totally and completely flipped that.
But so he wasn't working in the groups or the business for several years. So it really
I wasn't.
2017.
No, it wasn't years.
So how do you convince him? Like he said, don't do this, you're going to lose friends and family, but you don't care, or you don't?
No, see, we have two.
Hold on, she's asking me now.
Two different versions.
She's asking me.
Go ahead, say what you're going to ask.
He said that, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it.
She saw something I didn't see.
I was in the upper group. I saw the cheering and the confetti that I mentioned.
Yeah.
And it looked fun.
Virtual confetti.
I was a virtual. I was a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
Screaming little kids.
Mm-hmm.
We finally had got his business moving again because it had been stagnant. It was finally moving again.
Yeah.
But I was a financial planner, but my biggest client had passed away. I was making practically no money. It was not fun. And I was trying to do this with crying little kids. And suddenly here was something fun with party and women and confetti and money and oils and learning. And it wasn't just the money though. We had this group called the Lemon Drop Lounge, which is like Drop Talk. And, it was like, oh, what does peppermint do? And what does lavender? Ooh, what are you doing with that? And so it was this whole world of, discovering these amazing oils and what they do. That part was fun too.
Yeah.
And everybody was doing it together. Everybody was learning together. And that part was just like, to be a part of something, it was almost like, junior high again, where you have all these kids. I mean, they were adults, but we just felt like kids, learning something new and fun and being together and making friends.
Yeah.
And suddenly I had all these friends when before I had nothing.
Nothing.
By myself, crying
Yep.
kid, call my friends, but we had nothing to bond over. You know, it's like, oh, remember high school 20 years, 10 years ago? You know, it's like, who cares? You know, like, what's something now, something new that we can be a part of? And then we started holding classes. And, you know, we'd go over to classes and make rollers and, you know, emotions and oils and learning all these fun things. And it was just so fun. And all these new people all the time. And it was, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Jessica. And, da-da-da. You know, and it was so fun. And that aspect of me, the fun plus, and then the checks started coming in. And I started to see some serious money fast. I did. That's not typical. Go income disclosure statement, youngliving.com/IDS. There's my disclaimer. But I saw some good money coming in right away. And that also was a convincer for him. I came in and showed him my first check. Well, I got that $50 check, but then I showed him my next check. And I put it in front of him, and I just like didn't say anything. And he was like, okay, keep going. And I'm like, great. you know? And I just went back in the groups because, you know, Lindsay Marino and Monique McLean, they were upline. They just made it so fun. They were always coming up with new games and prizes and contests and giveaways. And it was just fun all the time. And then I started to rank up silver, gold. I got to platinum. By the time I went to my first convention, I was platinum. And I remember because this lady walked by, and her name's Kathleen Harvey. She's a diamond now. She walked by, or she was standing there with her husband, and I was walking past all those, like, they had these big, tall boards with everyone's names on them for the different ranks. And she was like, my husband and I just hit silver. Will you take our picture? And it's my very first convention. You know, I'd never been. And I signed up in July of 2013, and they just had their convention in June, and the next convention was the following year. So I went to that one. And I was like, sure, totally. So I took her picture, and she goes, are you up here? Do you want me to take your picture? I'm like, yeah, I am. I'm down there. She goes, where? I'm like, on the platinum boards. You know, I don't want to be sure. Oh, you're a platinum? And this is my first convention. I just started, like, you know, a year before. And I'm like, yeah. She went over and took my picture. And now that she's a diamond, I mean, it's kind of fun that we remember that because she's a cross-line member, and she's such a nice lady. And
That's neat.
it was fun. It was so fun. Still fun. It's still fun. I saw one of your questions was, have I ever wanted to quit? Oh, no. I mean, I woke up from the time that I started, you know, every day I'd go in the Lemon Dropper group, and I wanted to see what was going on. And the Lemon Dropper group, they don't run that group anymore. So if you try to get in it, it's still there, but nobody posts anything. And kind of inactive. But every day they're posting new and fun things. I'm like, ooh, what's the new fun thing that they're doing today? So it was just very high energy, and it was just something amazing to be a part of. So I wanted to be in it. And, you know, and every day since then, now it's my job. It's my job to bring the fun, to bring the party. I mean, I don't know if you saw my crossword puzzle, but
I saw the crossword puzzle. Yes.
This is like, how can I bring more fun? How can I bring something that people go, ooh, what's that? What's, you know, there's a fun game, or there's something to, like, just because we can't even get together anymore, right? How can we somehow, I mean, I even saw in the Diamond group, it's like people are getting together and playing like Oil Pictionary on Zoom, and, you know, just ways to bingo and ways to engage people and be a part of something. And
Right. So when did Nathan decide that? Is that when you throw the check, you show him the check, that you decided that Nathan decided that was the business to do, or it took you a little bit longer?
It was a slow drip. So just wait. No. But here's the thing. She always says 2017, and I need to like rewrite the story here, because 2013 July. Let's do a quick timeline. 2013 July, she joins. October 1 of 2013 was like business go time. Because of her efforts, very early on, we we went to Hawaii on the Drive to Win, and there we got a Royal Hawaiian Sandalwood as one of the oils, and I was like, I hadn't had my like experience yet. I had used oils, some oils, maybe like, you know, lavender and thieves and lemon, and I was doing lemon drops. I did that just kind of very, you know, from the beginning. I was, you know, dropping lemon and Royal Hawaiian Sandalwood was the first story for me where I had something on my leg, and I had tried some other things, and I'm like, you know what? I just got this in Hawaii. I'm going to give this a shot. And so I would put a drop or two on my leg. And after about 10 days, the skin issue had gone away completely. And I was like, okay, there's my story. And I was very, because of my prior experience, I was very careful about what I was going to say about Young Living, what I was going to say about my personal experience. It had to be real. I wasn't going to blow smoke. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to be what I felt like I saw in a lot of the people in the industry. I'm like, I'm not going to be those people. Period.
I know when it shifted for you. I know exactly when. You want me to tell you when?
That was a huge one, and that was
men's camp,
and that was
the one with Gary.
Yes,
but that was
men's camp. I know.
Was 2.5 years later.
I know. I know. It was when you went to men's camp, and you got to know Gary. You came home from that, and you were on fire. So the first one was like 2016.
16 and then 17.
You came home from that. I think you really started to percolate and think maybe you should start to do the business. You weren't even posting on Facebook. I would have to ask you to post on Facebook.
Because I hadn't had, that's what I felt like.
I know, but I'm just saying men's camp was when you had your shift of thinking, I want to be a part of this.
I don't want to say I had my shift. I would say there was a big shift that happened that year. But I saw what was happening. It was affecting our household positively in a number of ways. And I wanted to be real about what was happening in my life and my experience. I didn't want to be fake. I didn't want to lie. I didn't want to, that's it. That was just me. And she was having this great experience over here, and I'm thinking, okay, that's good, but I needed to be on board personally. And so, yes, men's camp 2016 was I would say one of the biggest shifts for me.
And then you asked me, you came back and you're like, well, how can I get involved? And I said, well, you could start a men's group, a group for men.
And I was like, no, I don't.
You did for about 2 seconds. And then
for about 2 seconds.
Yeah, and then you realize it's not his deal. That's a great idea. It's just you have to be committed and you have to want to do it. He didn't want to do it. And then
there was
2017, you went to men's camp again. And
there was already a men's group going, and I'm like, I don't want to try and compete with that.
Yeah. So then 2017, you went to men's camp again, and then we went to Indonesia for the opening at the end of that year.
Yeah.
And that was really and that was your idea. But I think you really came back from men's camp and you're like, I want to get involved. And I don't know what you heard there about international markets or whatever. But then they released the 5x5. And that's when it really was like.
That was 18. That was late 2018.
I know.
We had been in 5
But
years.
that's when our Indonesia team was growing. And then they released that 5x5. And then you really were like, let's take this global.
Yeah.
I mean, we already had this huge global team under Leanne, but he really was like, let's grow globally in the rest of our other legs.
So timing is super key, right? If you're going to do the business, you have to understand timing with network marketing, with any direct sales
But
business.
don't wait for anything. Just go for it.
You don't want to necessarily wait, because so you have to be working on your personal journey, right? You have to be learning, you have to be using the product. And then when you see an opportunity, that's, I think, what was happening. I think we were being prepared for something that has continued to, grow and be very good.
If you know someone that from somewhere else or has traveled to somewhere else and they've got connections somewhere, talk to them about Young Living.
Yeah.
Because you just don't know who you know that knows someone from somewhere else.
Mm.
I mean, Leanne, honestly, that was luck. That was some very good fortune. Well, I think it was maybe divine providence, but you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like I planned it or we were looking for that.
Yep.
I'd been in the business less than 2 months and I was just out there with my little table, you know, but
I remember loading up the car. She like had all her things at the door and she's like, can you help me take this all out to the car? And she was going to do this little fair and it was like, tiny little table. So
I signed up somebody else at that fair who is one of my huge other legs. And so 80% of my team came from that little tiny fair.
Wow.
That little table, 80% of my team today is from that event. So I think about if I hadn't done that event, you know, I'd probably be a platinum or something. But that team, that was
a very good $20 spent.
$20.
An amazing $20 spend, right? So yeah, everyone has their own experience, and I think I would just encourage people to just be genuine in your experience, right? Just do your best to learn as much as you can about. Excuse me, I'm sorry, my ring hit the table. But be genuine in your search and in your experience, having your experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you know, I cannot ever talk about Young Living without thanking God for what we have been blessed with. Because I know that I can't talk about Young Living without it. And I can't talk about Young Living without, there are really three people. There's God, and our belief systems, right? And many different people believe many different things. But I can say, honestly, I know that I have a Father in heaven who loves me, who cares about my health, who cares about me personally, who cares about my family. And I believe that he can, and he does, bless us with opportunities where we can see something and seize the moment. He doesn't just give it to us. I believe that he gives us opportunity, right? It's like that, you know, opportunity knocks and we take it and we run with it. And I that absolutely is the case for us with Young Living. No question. I couldn't say I did it. There's no way. And I couldn't even say Jessica did it all. And I think as we talk about it, we both agree that we were blessed, but you know, Jessica initially did a lot of work.
Yeah,
and sure. I have done a lot of work as well. So it's the coupling of opportunity, what I believe is divine opportunity, and a lot of hard work.
Yep.
And those two things, and here's the thing, in any part of your life, good hard work and divine opportunity, when those two things come together, I don't think there's not much that people can't accomplish. Like if you put your mind to it, I believe that your faith and your desire to move and make things happen and bless your family is the very thing that causes heaven to move. That I believe that for me is, again, these are all my personal beliefs and I hold them as my own, but I cannot talk about Young Living without talking about that.
Let's let her ask another question. Are you out of questions, Melissa?
No, I'm not. It's probably a lot more to go. But you know how you talk about men's camp, right?
Yeah.
What's like, you said that, you know, like you both were saying that how the men's camp changed. What's the big split? Sorry?
I'm sorry. I don't want to cut you off, but.
Let it finish.
So what is it about the men's camp that really, like, I'm sure it's like, you know, there's something doing the men's camp that has changed you or make you see things differently?
I had one reason that I wanted to go to men's camp. One, I wanted to go shake Gary's hand, give him a hug, and say, thank you for everything that you've ever done in your life leading up to this point, because his life truly was, he experienced the lowest of the lows and he experienced the highest of the highs. That man had been to really the depths of hell in his own life, and he also knew, and with Mary together, those two have positively affected so many people's lives. And what more do you want in life than to have a positive effect on people?
Yeah.
I think all of us innately want to influence others.
Yep.
And he did that. So my one desire for men's camp was, it wasn't go and hang out with a bunch of other guys. That wasn't it. I mean, I saw that there was that part of it, and I was like, great, that's all good and fine.
Yep.
But so long as I could shake Gary's hand and then give him a hug and say, thank you, that was my purpose in going there. And then what happened was hearing him, talking to him at his dinner table, listening to the other men in men's camp. That for me was a formative and kind of foundational experience in my Young Living journey. And then I followed that up the next year in 2017, and it was amazing again. So I just had wanted to thank him, say thank you. That was it. So yeah, oh, sorry. Okay, going to get the dog.
The dog's outside and.
All right. Okay.
You have a question, or you?
Okay. Just. I mean, you answered pretty much, so I could just talk to Jessica. No worries. Thank you.
Sure, I'll be back.
So, will you say that your business started? You intentionally grow your international business when you went to Indonesia? Would that be say, or you had, like, in your mind, like, I want to grow internationally? So when did it exactly that you say, oh, I want to grow internationally? Or it just happened so naturally?
Leanne opened my eyes to what could happen. I mean, one person turned into thousands and thousands from Leanne. So that definitely opened my eyes, and I saw so much potential across. My major in college was international relations.
Okay.
And I actually went on a trip called Semester at Sea, where we went around the world, and I went to Malaysia when I was 19 years old.
Okay.
Just for a few days.
Okay.
But we went to Malaysia, Hong Kong, Japan, Vietnam, India. Anyway, so I had this unique opportunity, and I was always interested in other cultures. I studied abroad 3 times in college, 3 semesters, because I wanted to, I was just interested in it. I was interested in other cultures and the world. And but it was really Nathan that said, let's go here. So when we went to Indonesia, it wasn't to grow. I mean, actually, no, we did bring some flyers, and Sabrina was with us, and she'll tell you that we went to like the local markets and passed out all these flyers in English. Dumb American. Well, Sabrina's not American, but I don't know. Like, I didn't know what to do. I'm like, I don't know how to.
It wasn't dumb. It was like, let's go for it.
They probably got it.
We're gonna do this.
It's like me getting a flyer in Japanese. I would just throw it away. It's like, I don't speak Japanese, so trash. Anyway, but we had all these flyers in English about the oils, and nobody ever called about it. I mean, it would be a long distance phone call anyway. But Nathan, he went, when we got back, he's like, I want to grow a team there. I'm like, how are you gonna do that?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I knew about Bali, and I surf, and I had heard all growing up about Indonesia. It's a wave garden there, and there's a lot of amazing surf there. And I thought it would be fun to grow a team in Indonesia and give me a good reason to go and surf and go to Bali. And so
now he's been 4 times.
I've been
3 or 4 times. A lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, so we've been to Jakarta
twice,
okay. And I've been to Bali twice. Yeah, 4 times.
Wow.
So that was kind of Young Living, like it hit home for me.
He likes to travel too.
And
Mm.
I do love to.
Great. So now it's been like 7 years since you started Young Living. I know you did say that there was never a point that you feel like giving up at all. What would you say then is the toughest challenge that you ever have, or everything was easy breezy for you guys?
Sometimes there's conflict, some people, a lot of it's usually around miscommunication. People will say, well, what should I do? And I say, well, have you talked to the person? No, I haven't talked to them. I called you first. Okay, well, go talk to the person that the issue's about and, try to frame things in a light that's not threatening, ask questions. That's one of the best things you can do. Go in there and go like, well, I saw this happening. What do you think it means? And that I've learned from experience because I've done the wrong thing, which is to go in there and be like, don't do that, and people go, whoa, who are you to accuse me? So
you
that
have
type
to
of thing
respect.
I've learned better communication. So that's one of the tougher things, and it's just kind of trial and error. But now after getting your nose cut off too many times, you learn to go in there and be like, so I just saw this and I wanted to ask what was going on in a nice way, Anyway, there's always two sides of the story is what I've learned. And then what else has been tough? Coming up with new content all the time, trying to make it fun all the time. It's can be hard to be the party starter all the time. Fortunately, I have Wendy Merck here, she's 2 levels above me, and she's just as invested as I am about doing the business. So I know that my team they have 2 really strong upline leaders who are constantly putting out content, games, fun things, prizes. So it's not just me. I'm not just like trying to row this boat all by myself. Wendy's there and she's like, we don't really do a lot of things together, although we're friends. But she's rowing her boat, I'm rowing my boat. So I know that, at least we're going along side by side and trying to make things happen for the team. And she pours into, she's like me. It doesn't matter how far down somebody is in the team, she'll help anybody in her team and her organization. So and she's a lot like me in some ways, so we kind of get each other in that. We're both kind of red, yellow, red, where we can get our feelings hurt, but we're also go-getters. So like we understand each other that way, where it's like we want to succeed, but we want to make sure that everyone's feeling good and nobody's upset. And you can't do that.
You can't always do that,
but you can do that so that you
to the best of your ability.
Aware of people's feelings the best you can. It's hard because people have expectations, and that's another, when you talk about challenges, I had that in the beginning, because my leaders gave me so much, I expected a lot of them. And I've since learned that the business is your own, and it's up to you. And if your leaders walk out the door and go on to move on to other things, that's the way it goes. And you have to be the one to
step up,
be the party starter and engaging people and sending out notes and messaging and reaching out and doing all the things.
You fill those shoes.
It helps when you have an upline leader. It definitely helps, but you can't count on it. It's up to you.
I'm sure it gets tiring at some time, right? Like, I don't know about you, but even as me, I have to admit that being a party starter gets tiring.
And some days I just don't. I mean, I do kind of have a rule for myself that I try to post something in the groups every day, so I don't just disappear. And I was like, what happened? Post something. If nothing else, an announcement from corporate, or today I just did a post. I said something like, my biggest goal that I have is this, and it was kind of fill in the blank.
I saw that.
My fear, whatever, my fear of what people think of me. For me, it was being able to stay home with my kids. If I could stay home with my kids, I didn't care what anybody thought of me, because that goal was so big that, and if you can have your why, your reason for doing the business bigger than anything else, that's one of the biggest problems, is people are like, well, if I succeed, it would be nice.
No.
If you can get it to, I have to succeed. I have to succeed. I am willing to do whatever it takes. When I won my Aroma Complete, so it's like the winning the Premier Aroma Collection, I gave more than half of it away to my team, because I was like, if you do XYZ, I will give you a kit out of my oils. Did I want to give away my kit? No, I wanted those oils. I earned them. I wanted to keep them, but I wanted to stay home with my kids more. And I was like, if I can use this as a tool to grow my business, I'm going to do it. Because plus, if I can, you know, get my check big enough, I can just buy myself another one, which I eventually did. But I was like, I'm going to use this now to grow my team. And people were like, whoa, I could get a free oil. And at the time, it was a big deal because a lot of people were just kind of starting out, and I had all these blends, acceptance and Egyptian gold. I remember Leanne got that one. I remember I gave Jasmine to Amy Peas, and anyways, different people won really cool, expensive oils. Wow. And I was like, if I could, you know, get these out to people, then, you know, use these as my prizes and grow my team fast. And it worked. People were hustling, people were flipping, and they wanted to win those oils.
Yeah. I'm thinking of an experience. I was at convention maybe 2 years ago, and someone had given me an oil. I think maybe you had given me an oil, or I had an oil, or maybe it was just one of the convention oils. No, maybe it was one that we had. And I was walking out of a meeting, and I was just like, I'm oiling. And then there was this woman that was just like looking up at me, and I'm like, here I have this oil, and I'm like, here, like, and I dropped, and then the gal next to her like put her hand out, and I dropped, and then I went, and I was like, it was really this cool thing, because I have this oil, like carrier of this gift, right? And like literally I just saw like all of these hands start going out, and I just was like dropping in all these hands. It was this really special 2 minutes. It was this, I was just like drop, and it was, you know, thank you. And, you know, it just was this special thing. And I think that if we can, in our own way, however that is, if we can drop some good into somebody's hands, whether that's oil, or whether it's a smile, whether it's some sort of light, right? We're in the Young Living business, and we share oils and we share great products. So the more we can do that, I think our cup will be filled to overflowing. If we share and share and share. And that's why I believe this woman was given Young Living. It was something that she took and went for, and it was her own doing, and it was also a gift. You have to realize that it's both, right?
But then people think, well, maybe I'm not worthy of the gift of having a big team, you know, and that's a whole nother issue of
false belief. Yeah,
thinking you have to be worthy, or maybe I'm not worthy because I, you know, did something bad a long time ago. That's not. Can't look at it like diamonds and think, well, they must be perfect people. No, I know a lot of them. They are real people. They are real people with, you know, all the same things as everybody else, as far as things that they've been through in life, and all different walks of things, because all different ages and backgrounds and everything. So anyway, just when we were talking about worthiness, that's a myth. We're all worthy. I believe, Nathan, I believe we're all children of God. We've talked about that. And but there are things that you can do to change your mindset. And we've been working with Brandon Barber, and we have a workshop next week about changing your brain, because your brain is not you. You are not your brain. You're your spirit, right? Your brain is part of your body, which you are in, but it's not. You're not your body. After we die, we're going to leave these bodies behind, right? The brain is going to be, you know, in the grave. So, but you can change your brain to take you where you want to go. If you can change how you think to take you, and that's a big part of changing how you think, is to get into a space more of love than fear. Because at any given moment, you're either experiencing love or fear. And, you know, you might think, well, it's anger's fear. Well, it's joy and excitement. That's love. You know, it's like, it's either one or the other. You can put any emotion into one or the other camp.
Mm-hmm.
And are you experiencing love or fear? And if you can get into a space of love more often, that's abundance. That's all the oil names. I mean, if you look at any oil name, those are all on the side of love.
Yep.
You know, hope, joy, forgiveness, gratitude.
Totally.
Yeah.
Those are all. Everyone is in the camp of love.
Love, gratitude.
And there's a lot of, you know, the opposite. So like worry, the opposite of worry would be like strength, right? And that would be valor. So you can find the opposite. If you're feeling an emotion like sadness, you can find the opposite emotion in the oils, you know. So, but if you can get into a place of love more often, which the oils can help you with that, using oils on a regular basis, your brain starts to change. If you're diffusing, especially you're breathing them in, your brain starts to change. There's exercises you can do to help your brain change so that you can get into a space of love more often. And then you're going to be attracting positive things. You're going to be feeling good. Just the act of feeling good. You're going to smile more often and people will be attracted to you. Things will start to come to you because you're in this place of abundance, gratitude, growth, joy, love. But when you're in a space of lack, fear, worry, doubt, I'm not good enough, all those types of things, that's what you're going to experience. So
it's a good one. So shall not take any more of your time, but any last words for people who will be listening to this? From a man's point, from your point, and then from Nathan's point?
So I'll start and then I'll let her have the last word because I know she likes it. But I think one of the things that if I just have to say this, if you believe in God, get right with Him. And get right with your heavenly parents, let's say, because I want to make sure that people know that they have spiritual, divine heritage in spirit, in heavenly parents. Get right with them. And I believe that if you do that work to get right with them, that all things really can kind of flow to you. And receiving and giving are both, I don't know, I guess that just as I think about this, receiving and giving are both spiritual in nature, and you have to be able to do well in both. You have to be able to give well, and you also have to be gracious in receiving, and receiving well. And that's no, I can do it, no, it's good. No, you appreciate the effort of someone else loving you, caring for you, making what could be a very difficult effort towards you. They're trying to be kind, and you have to recognize their effort, and you receive that well, and you say thank you so much. So give well, receive well, get right with your heavenly parents, and drop oils on everybody. And then they all have their own experience. Again, it was one of the first things I said. I think that we are leading people to an experience. And if the only thing that ever happens is that someone has one little thing that they need an oil for, and they receive a positive benefit in that one experience, then Young Living and that oil has done its work.
Job. Yep.
Yeah, right? And if that's the extent of it, then that's the extent of it. And it's been a good experience. It's been a good thing. But it really, it can be a drop, or it can be an ocean, right? how much of Young Living do you want to experience? Do you want to experience just a drop?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you want to experience an ocean? And you can experience both.
Yep. Thank you.
Melissa, I know one of the things you want to talk about was network marketing on this call.
No
And-
worries. I think we covered quite a good. No worries.
Well, I'll end with that if that's
Okay.
what,
Yep.
because when I started, I didn't have any preconceived ideas about network marketing. I didn't even know what it was. I didn't even know why I was getting the check. I thought it was just something nice or money back or something. But don't let past experiences around network marketing dissuade you from doing Young Living, because this company is so different
Yes.
than other companies. You know what? I don't even actually say that with a lot of authority because I haven't done other companies. I haven't been around the block. This is all I know.
Mm-hmm.
But what I know is that it's so good. It's so good. With Young Living, friends, like I've made thousands of friends. Financially, I couldn't even imagine. $50, just that $50 check first off the bat, I was like, who's sending me $50? To me, that was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I was just like, who's this lady, Mary Young? You know, like I saw her name on the check. I'm like, wow, she's nice. I want to make friends with her, and she is nice.
Yeah.
Great. But you know, don't let that dissuade you, because Young Living is different, and the products are the biggest part of why you can succeed with this company when you maybe had difficulties in other companies, because the products work. You don't have to think, well, I have to convince somebody that this works. Give it to them. Let them try it. Give them a sample. Bring them over. Let them borrow. If you have a like a little kit that you let people borrow, have one of those. Make sure you get it back. But you know what I'm saying? Like, have something ready to go. This lady the other day, we were out walking the dog on the trail, and I was chatting with her, and she was telling me about how she'd always had shoulder problems. And we walked back to our house, and I offered her a sample a few times, and she was like, no. And then we got back to the house. I'm like, last chance. I'm right here in front of my house. I can go in and make it. And she's like, no. I'm like, okay. Well, she's like, well, what's in it? And I was explaining about Panaway. I'm like, well, it's got wintergreen is for this, and helichrysum is for this, and you know, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, okay, just go make it. I'm like, all right, I'll be right back. So anyway, I came inside the house, made it the sample, took it out to her. That was just a couple days ago. I haven't heard back yet. But, you know, I made her my special blend with Panaway and copaiba and coconut oil. I know what's going to happen. You know, just going to put it on and be like, whoa, you know, this is better than like anything I've ever tried before.
Yeah.
Because the oils do the hard work, which is actually working. I mean, our job is hard, but their job is harder. They got to work, you know? So as long as you have these products that work, you put them on people, you just never know what they deal with. You be talking about her shoulder, but then little do I know she's got a teenager who's got emotional issues, or, you know, whatever it is that she doesn't think about, because she doesn't think that essential oils are going to work for that. But if you can just get them on people, that's it.
All right, so thank you very much. I know it's a Friday night over there for, you know, you didn't need to do this, but I really thank you guys so much for doing this. I know I promised you half an hour, but it's been over an hour.
We're like this. And you know what? We thank you for the opportunity to be able to do this. And I feel like when we do this, we grow together.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. I have to just say this, like, a lot of how I know Jessica is from her posts and Diamond Droppers. I'm like, I love this woman. Like, you know, like I like, she'll say things and kind of have her energy and all, you know, into the business. And then, you know, we talk all throughout the day. We're at home, but like, she says things and writes things that she doesn't say out loud to me. And so it's fun. I make sure that I read every single one of her posts so that I'm hearing the thoughts, you know, that are like, she just read this post or did this post on Facebook about this experience that we had with our daughter last night. And I'm like, oh yeah, wow, I love you like that much more. Thank you for sharing that with. So I realized that I said there were 3 people, and I didn't finish my thought. But there's my Heavenly Father, Heavenly Parents, and there's really 5. My Heavenly Parents. There's Gary and Mary, and then of course there's Jessica.
Mm-hmm.
And I thank that group every day.
You know, Melissa, it's because I love my team. I honestly love my team. When my team succeeds, like, I don't know everybody, you know, in our team, but like, I try to get to know people as much as possible. And when I see people succeeding, I know how much it meant to me, and I can feel how much it means to them.
Yep.
And I've started writing notes again, just like writing notes to my team members and snail mail, you know?
Yep.
Just like, you know, it's like I love them. And if I one last tip to leave you, fall in love with your team. Get to know them. Share in their joys and their sorrows and what they're going through, and really care about them and want the best for them. When you want the best for them, your business will grow, because they'll feel that. They'll feel that from you.
Totally.
And they'll feel like, she's actually someone that really cares about me. She wants me to succeed. And when they feel that from you, they're going to want to work so much harder. When I felt that from Monique, when I first met Monique McLean, I really felt like I walked up and she called me by name, and I was like, oh my gosh, she knows my name. Like, I couldn't believe she knew my name. I was like, oh my gosh. And then she started talking to me, and I just was like, felt like she really cared about me. And I was like, I will do whatever you want me to do. Like, tell me to jump over that, you know, thing. I will scale that gate, you know, I'll hit platinum tomorrow, whatever you want me to do. I will do it. I wanted to, I don't know, make her proud of me.
You wanted to please her in a way, right? You
So
wanted to
love your team,
yeah.
and they will do whatever they can for you. And it's not for you, it's for them.
It's for both, I would say.
It's for both.
Yep.
I would say it's for both. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I've learned a lot from this 1 hour just talking to you guys. That's been great. I don't know when we'll be able to travel again. I hope to see you guys, because I guess you're supposed to make a convention.
Soon, yeah. I mean,
It might be convention next year.
Yeah.
Next year.
It's sad that you guys didn't come to APAC, because I know you guys were coming to APAC convention.
We had 4 trips. We had, and APAC was one of them. We were really excited about coming to Japan, and obviously that didn't happen. But
we'll do it again.
Yes.
We've got time, and we've got to work around. So
let's meet again.
Yes, let's meet again. Thank you so much again. Thank you for spending the time and making this happen. And we're really thankful to you for everything that you do, and for thank you for.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a good weekend. Bye.
Okay, take care. Bye.